Hey y'all, okay, so this is part 3 of my tell-all video. If you just looking at it, make sure you look at part 1, part 2, part 3, and this is part 4 of it. I'm trying to just give y'all everything of what's going on so we can fast forward it. If you don't know, y'all know that I just had Symphony 2 months ago. And my husband, I have not seen him well, I've seen him twice, but he hasn't really been home for over 4 weeks now, or however long it's been. It was since the 31st of August. And my in-laws have given us the boot. And you already know my husband changed the bank account. Everything's going on, and I know that he's suffering from bipolar right now. And I am still praying for my husband. I'm still praying for his safety. So I've decided, because some of you ladies said I should do a GoFundMe, and I decided to do that. And I said to myself, but I said, if I'm going to do a GoFund, and trust me, my whole pride is just like, oh, Mona. But if I'm going to do a GoFundMe, I got to tell y'all the whole truth. And I know some people, if it's family, they may not like it. Look, my mama know, my father know, my cousins and all of them know. I might as well just go ahead and tell my YouTube family, especially if I'm asking for help. The link is at the bottom for the GoFund account. If you're not able to donate, then I totally understand. Please pray for me, because I'm telling you, prayers are way more than money, for real, because God is going to make a way. Okay, so the last thing I was telling y'all was that Matt just looked like he had sunburn on him. Not look like, he did have sunburn on him. And y'all got to understand, he hates the heat. He does not like the heat. That's why majority of the time through my pregnancy, he slept downstairs on the couch, because he just does not like the heat. My in-laws have put ceiling fans in, like right before we came home from the hospital, for my husband, because he does not like the heat. And for to see him redneck out, I'm talking about looking like Hellboy, y'all, from red all the way down. I was just like, you got to be kidding. Before he left out, I said, let's go to the ER. And he said, no. And he stormed out the door. This is not, y'all got to understand. My husband is a very logical man. He's a smart man, and he is extremely intelligent. This Jekyll and Hyde, I don't even know. It's like somebody totally different. And but before I go in and start, because I want to tell y'all that I do love my husband. I still love my husband. If it was up to me, I'll have a tranquilizer gun and be out there looking for him to pop him and drag him into the hospital so he can get some help. Because I love my husband, and I know what type of person he is and what man he is. Also, I've told you before, I have a sister that suffers from bipolar and a little bit of schizo. So I have, and she's only a year older than me, so I know firsthand off when you're dealing with a family member like that. I'm going to always love my husband, and I'm not in any way, any type of form disrespecting my husband. Sometimes, y'all, I want to get so mad. I get so mad, like, you just left me. But then I'm like, it's not him, it's the illness. I can't blame him. It's like, then I get so upset, because the whole time while he was over there. But anyway, before I tell you the remainder of the story, I will say this, that one thing I will say that I respect about my husband is that he held on. He must have been dealing with a lot of emotions, and with everything we went through, he held on up until we had our baby. And that I'm very grateful for. I'm very, very grateful for. Now, let's move forward. So he's leaving out, and bottom line, when he calls his parents on the phone and he says, Mona won't let me see Symphony, and she says she want a divorce. Never mind the simple fact of how he was handling her. He didn't say all of that. He could hear his father say hello. And then, I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything. And so he hung up the phone. And then when he was leaving out, I said, we need to go to the ER. He said, no. He left, jumped in the car. Also, I noticed the phone he had on was kind of sparkly, and he had a certain scent about him that was really different. So, while he was standing there, I made sure before he left that I analyzed him from his skin, from what he had on, from everything or whatever. Oh, man. I gave her some Tylenol, y'all. So, I'm getting so tired. I'm trying to tell everything so we can fast forward to all the way to the now. Oh, my gosh, y'all. I'm so tired. So, anyway, he leaves out, and I'm just in shock. Like, what was that? What in the world? Like, I'm just like, my husband left out of here 3.5 weeks ago because my mother-in-law said, oh, just so you guys can just, get a break. And he comes back totally different. And they said that if you are not on medication, it can get worse. It can progress. And I kept calling my in-laws, and I kept telling people, and this is what the result is. And I knew just by looking at him that he had to be out on the mall in the sun, because I was reading some of his posts, and when he said he was under a tent and taking photos, I saw his photos and the things that he was saying. I knew he was out on that mall, and I also felt like he was sleeping on benches, because his legs down to his ankles, they were red. Y'all gotta understand, my husband don't do the tan. He don't do the tans, y'all. He just don't do them. He would even make fun of himself, like he would call fish belly color skin, because he just don't do the tans. So I knew it wasn't him. So I waited a minute, and I called my in-laws, and they were like, hello. And I told them what had happened. First of all, I didn't tell them everything about him, the way he was handling Symphony and stuff. But I told them that is not mad. I was so in shock that it was hard for me to even speak. And it was like as if they were mocking me. Well, you said you wanted your husband. You said you wanted him. You said, oh, you wanted us to send him home. So, Mona, we did what you said. We sent him home. Oh, you said you wanted. It was like they were mocking me. And I'm like, they don't understand. He came home different, and he could have hurt our daughter. And it's like y'all mocking and making fun of that. So, I said, all right. I understand what y'all saying, but the whole time he was there, y'all could have been telling him that he needed to be on medication. Now he's way more worse than what he was. I was so upset. Well, that's your husband. That's all they kept saying. So anyway, I told them, look, y'all better be careful. I get off the phone with it, and I'm so mad, because I'm like, this is not him, and he needs some help. And so, it kept going in my mind, that's your husband, and God showed me that is your husband. I said, you're absolutely right. You want to act like a nut? Then I'm going to put you in, I'm going to make sure that I'm your wife. So what does the authority of a wife, what can she do? I can make sure they put a straitjacket around you. So, because remember, they can't do anything if you are not a threat to yourself or to others. But when he handled our daughter the way he did, I said, oh, heck no. And I know that wasn't him, but we can't have that. He needs to be evaluated. My husband is the most gentlest man in the world. But people that y'all got to understand this, because I don't want y'all to be like, Mona, Yeah, I'm being cautious, but I still love my husband, and it's not his fault. It's really not. He just needs to be on medication. Please pray for him, y'all. So anyway, the next day, I called the psychiatric people, whatever, called the place that he went to when he got evaluated. And one of you ladies asked, when he went and got evaluated, did they give him something? Well, it wasn't until later on that my in-laws told me that they did give him something to calm down. But because I had just got out of the hospital, I never really did a follow-up on it. Now I did do the follow-up, but with the HIPAA law, they don't really tell the spouse everything or whatever. And so, yeah. So anyway, y'all, it's like, what time is it? It's 12:55. I'm still trying to explain everything. So anyway, I call the people, and they basically tell me that I need to go to the magistrate, and I need to present my case to him and everything, because my husband needs help, and this is the only way I know how to do it. So I go to the magistrate, and I'm over there for 4 hours standing up. 4 hours standing up while they're taking their time in the back. It even got to the point that I'm in the magistrate office. There's no seats. I'm standing up on my feet, and I just had to breastfeed her while I'm standing up and everything. He finally comes out, and I tell him what's going on. My husband needs help. I'm afraid for him. I think I don't want him to be a danger to other people. I don't want him to be at the wrong place and then somebody feel like he's doing something wrong and end up hurting my husband. I've been looking up so many things, y'all, on YouTube about women and their husbands bipolar, and then the police shot them because they didn't know. I don't want that to be my husband. I've been reading about when they go through these cycles, they crash, they can commit suicide and certain things like that. And because of his past history, I don't want you. I even wanted to email my husband and tell him, you better not even think about cutting yourself. Like, I'm just so worried about him because I know my man. I know him. He's not like this, y'all. Y'all gotta understand. Y'all seen him in the videos. That's why a lot of the people, even my family, is shocked, like what's going on. So it's been a lot of prayers for him to have a sound mind. And to me, I feel like my in-laws are not trying to do that. They are really not trying to do that. They're trying to pat him over the back and all of this other stuff. So, anyway, fast forward and everything. You know, I was getting a whole bunch of emails I'm too tired to even explain it or whatever. I'm going to have to do another video tomorrow because I'm so burnt or whatever. Because I just want to make sure I don't miss anything. Meantime, between time, when I got the phone turned back on, he has not used that at all. He hasn't used any data. He's not posting anything at all. Far as hold on. You know, he hasn't posted anything at all. We did have, he sent something again saying, when can I see, are you denying me access from seeing my daughter? And I'm like, no, why would I deny you access from seeing your daughter? Because he was basically saying he wants to see my daughter alone without me. And I told him that's not going to happen. You can see your daughter, but you won't be seeing her alone until you get evaluated. But I kept getting these emails. I kept getting these emails of me seeing him, and I'm trying to see if I can pull it up or whatever like that. But I kept getting these emails of him saying he wanted to see her alone, and I was like, no, you can come and see her. And he kept saying certain things like, are you denying me from seeing her? And I was like, what are you talking about? I was like, why would I ever deny you from seeing your daughter? You got the key to the house. And then I even had to break it down and was like, why are you're not even mentioning your bipolar state, your manic state, or any of that. You came over here with, y'all, I gotta tell y'all. Come to find out, all of the emails my husband has been sending me, God has revealed to me that my father-in-law has told my husband only to email me from now on. Yeah, God has revealed to me that my father-in-law said that. Because remember when I went to go meet showed up at my in-law's house and he said just keep emailing and stuff like that. God has revealed to me that my father-in-law has instructed my husband just to only email. And what they've been trying to do is incriminate me by wanting me to say that he can't see his daughter. But that's ludicrous. I want him home. I want him home on medication, and I want him to see his daughter. We tried for this baby. I know he's a good dad, and I just feel like my in-laws are using his state, and they're trying to. It's like my husband has converted into a 17-year-old or a 16-year-old. I don't even know how to explain it, but it's just not him. And then what else was revealed? That also, I don't even think my husband is emailing me. I think it's my father-in-law that's emailing me. As a matter of fact, I'm almost 99% sure that it's my father-in-law that's emailing me. And I'm going to explain all of this stuff to you ladies tomorrow because it's getting late. It's almost, it's like 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm going to explain and break it down to y'all like crazy. So it makes me really upset that not only, it makes me upset because I feel like you knew that my husband suffered from bipolar, and you were waiting for the day for him to break. And now what you're trying to do is orchestrate a divorce / custody thing. And I'm going to tell y'all how God revealed it. And some of you ladies, because of prayer, y'all been reaching out to me. Y'all been emailing me like, Mona, let me tell you. And God has been revealing it. And the whole time I was just being honest, like, I want you home. You need to be around your daughter, but you need to be evaluated. You have to be evaluated because the way you carry, that's not his behavior. And I know that when he comes to himself, he would be proud of me, how I held it down and how I knew that something was really going on. This is a cry for help. You know, when people start doing things that are not their norm. My sister, Lisa, like I said, she hitchhiked all the way to Florida from Washington, D.C. She jumped off of a ship because somebody dared her to do that in Florida. This is not rational behavior. So I got to remember, Mona, you married him knowing that he had that, but I forgot because for all of these years we did good. And I was even one of the people saying, I don't think you got bipolar because I had a sister that had it and I didn't see it in him. But what I'm going to do, ladies, is this today afternoon, because it's 1 o'clock in the morning, I'm going to break you down in emails on how I know it's my father-in-law. And you know what really hurts me the most about him is that he know better. I told him don't mess with my marriage because God sees that. And it really hurts me about him. You're supposed to be a Bible study teacher, and you're using your position as an attorney to try to literally break me and my husband apart and our household apart, and then use their get out. I mean, y'all, this is crazy. So that's why I'm just praying, and ladies, fellas, whoever's looking at this, just pray for me, please. Pray for me. I didn't even get into over the bills or whatever like that. I had little of 200 and something in my account. I'm up here trying to send $50 here, $25 here to a water bill and gas bill because my husband, when he sent bread off and skipped and locked down the account, y'all know how hurtful it was to see his new bank account come in with the money there, and I'm working with little to nothing. Yesterday, I had a breakdown with the gas company because our gas bill was only $100 and something odd dollars, $160. I'm trying to negotiate. Look, can I send y'all 25? And they're like, well, no, you have to send us in 53. And then we'll work out a payment arrangement because I'm trying to get my paper up. I'm sitting up here, like I said, I'm selling stuff, this, that, and the third, so I can try to figure out what we're going to do. And what ended up happening is, they told me to call the automatic line to make the payment, right? So I called a line to make the $53 payment. Then they tell me next month I'm going to have a $789 balance. I said, wait a minute. If my balance is only $160 right now, and I'm trying to send some paper in for that, why would next month be $789? I called it in. They said because of the late payment, they're going to add a security deposit. Y'all, I went off. I started to cry. I was like, my husband and jumped ship on me. I'm dealing with this. I'm dealing with that. You cannot give me anything that I didn't accumulate. That's against the rules. That, I'm just going off. I'm on the phone crying, telling this man all about my problems. And they went ahead and got a supervisor. I'm on the phone. Boo-hooing crying. And the guy said, okay, fine. He went ahead and took the security deposit off. Told me to make the payment, but from now on, just be on time. So I was like, thank you, Jesus. So I went ahead and made my little $53, the last little bit I had, okay? But that's not even it. I'm not even going to tell y'all that about 3 weeks ago, was it 3 weeks? About 2.5 weeks ago, I had to go to a funeral. My mother was over here watching Symphony, And it was so crazy because the day before then, we had went to prayer night. Because, my mother was like, you need to come to prayer night. And I was like, I don't want to go. And she was like, there's an attack against your marriage and you need to go. So, I go over to prayer night or whatever. And y'all, them people was giving it. We were praying in a circle. They asked, is there anybody here that needs prayer? I said, I need prayer because of my marriage. And all the time I was thinking, because the marriage, and God really revealed to me, yes, it's my marriage, but it's also a stronghold that we're dealing with. Then after that, me and my mother went to go see The War Room. That's really good if you haven't seen that movie. We get in the car, my lights flickering off and on, and we head on home. And my mother, I think she stayed the night. And the next day, I had to go to the funeral or whatever. And this is really sad. One of my old friends, her sister, went to Atlanta, and I don't know the whole whatever, but she got stabbed 26 times by a man she just met not too long ago. Had to put a restraining order on him the first 3 months after she met him, and he stabbed and killed her. And her body had to come down to D.C., so I had to go to this funeral, and I hadn't seen her in years, but I couldn't imagine finding out one of my loved ones, something like that had happened. Anywho, so I went to get in the car to leave, so I went to jump in. Car won't start. I'm like, what? Car won't start. I'm like, what's going on? All of the lights, chick, 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 everything's going on, but it won't start. Now, I'm like, husband's gone, bank account gone, baby, can't make it to the funeral, raining outside. The battery is, not the battery, but the car won't start. And you only got a couple of $100 in your bank account right now. Because with my little side job, that's another thing too. With my little side job, I was able to open up a bank account and put probably maybe $100 or $200 into my account or whatever, something short or whatever. And I gotta show y'all this picture because while I was at the bank trying to get that, she started going off, and I'm in the back seat of the car nursing her, so tired, not having no help, and I can't believe I'm going through this because my husband in his state or whatever. So anywho, so now I'm kirking off or whatever like that. And I'm just like, I can't believe I need my wheels, and now my car isn't working. I called my husband. I texted him and I told him, car not working. He don't even care. This is way before I found out everything. Called my mother-in-law, she ain't answering. Father-in-law, everybody, nobody's answering. And I'm like, Jesus. And so I start spazzing off, y'all. I'm spazzing off in a car because now it doesn't work. I used my mother. Thank God my mother was there. And thank God for real that the car was here and not somewhere else. Because when we went out, we didn't come out of that movie theater until like 11 o'clock after watching The War Room. And that car could have broke down there, but it brought us all the way back home. But anyway, so my mother gave me her keys, and I go up to the mechanic shop, y'all. And they had done some work on the car before. And I tell them, like, my car, it has broke down. And they said, where is it? I said, it's at the house. And they said, the guy said, he said, well, you got to get it towed. Y'all, I did one of these. I did one of these. And I just started crying, and I just was telling him everything. My husband's left, and I got this, and it was just a car. That guy brought out some tissue, y'all, and he pointed at one of his mechanics and said, "You get in that car with her now." And he had the battery, like the little jumper cable battery, and the guy rode with me because I was in tears, and we went to the house, and immediately he popped the hood, put the thing on the battery, and zoom, the car started up. Brought the car back around, right? Now, I parked my mother's car over there. We brought the car back around. Lo and behold, it's the battery. But because of the certain type of car I got, it's going to cost me $200. And I was like, oh my gosh. And that was pretty much my last little bit. But I was thanking God I had $200 to get a battery. So I just wanted to share that with y'all too, because I mean these are some of the things that I've just been going through, having to take her on property with me, in a thing with something breastfeeding. It has not been easy, and at the same time, they over there chilling. Also, I feel like she may be, coming down with a little cold, so I had to give her some Tylenol, because after paying these bills, I felt like, because I'm working with a really small budget right now, that I didn't want to turn on the heat. And everybody knows, like in the metropolitan DC, Virginia area, I mean, it's this October. It's cold out here now. So the last thing I want is a sick baby. So that's pretty much all that I'm going to give y'all for right now. But I got to get into the emails and give y'all the breakdown from that, and what I'm trying to do. So ladies, fellas, whoever's looking at this, if you can just pray for me. Pray for me. Again, I started a GoFundMe account. The link is at the bottom. If you can donate, that would be awesome. I really want, I'm going to try to put some links to some of our music, because there was one link that I had where you can download the music for free, because I really, if you're doing something, I really want to give back, because anything is everything, and I've been really trying to sell stuff. Like, we got so much stuff, and it's just like, what do they expect me to do? It's going to start getting colder out here. And I'm still like, my husband hasn't been saying anything. I don't feel like he's the person that's emailing me. I feel like it's my father-in-law that's been doing it. And I'm going to tell you something, God going to get him. God going to get them. I know vengeance is the Lord. And I need to ask for forgiveness for feeling this way. But I used to have so much respect for them. And now I'm just like, evil. I don't even want to I can't wait to explain to y'all even more. But until then, ladies, I'll give you another update later on this afternoon. And I think this is the fourth one that I'm telling all. Okay, and I thank you again for your love, your prayers, and your support. And I'll give you another update later on this afternoon.